Spy X Family Season 1, a recap. The world's greatest spy is ordered to get a wife and child for the sake of world peace. Episode 1. This tale commences in a world of spies and assassins where the two countries of Ostania and Westalis are at the brink of war, and it's only the spy organization WISE that's preventing this war. With the recent assassination of a Westalis diplomat, WISE decides it is time to send their best agent, Twilight, a man of 100 faces regarded as the best spy in the world. Twilight receives instructions for his next mission, Operation Strix, that is to get close to Donovan Desmond, the leader of National Unity Party, but to do so, he would have to get himself a wife and child because Desmond only appears publicly at the parents' gathering of Eden Academy. Twilight is a bit shocked, but accepts the mission. He gets a family apartment in the city, and takes on the name Lloyd Forger, the psychiatrist. In order to get a child, Lloyd goes to an underground orphanage where he meets and adopts Anya, a girl who is able to read people's minds, but Lloyd has no idea. After a day with Anya, Lloyd comes to a realization that parenting is not easy. Next day, Lloyd forcefully leaves Anya at home, but she ends up messing with Lloyd's instruments, which leads to her being kidnapped by Lloyd's enemies. When Lloyd gets home, two of the enemy agents try to ambush the mighty assassin, but to no avail. He quickly goes after Anya. He does his spy thingies and easily saves the girl, making the two closer to each other. Anya, later, takes the entrance exam for Eden and luckily manages to pass somehow. Episode 2. Elsewhere at the city hall, Breyer is being ridiculed by her friends for being 27 and single. That day, accepts an invitation to a party from his brother, and tells him that she'll come with his boyfriend in order to not make him worry. But that is not her only secret when it is revealed that she is an infamous assassin, the Thorn Princess. Meanwhile, Lloyd and Frankie are going through the files of all the single women in the city. Unable to select one, Lloyd takes Anya to the tailor where they meet who sneaks up on Lloyd, getting his attention. After an exchange and an assist from Anya, they come to conclusion that Lloyd helps with the party, and helps Lloyd with the school interview. But Lloyd gets a spy mission the day of the party, and is unable to make it in time. Attends the party, but her friend berates her for coming alone. Just as she's about to leave, Lloyd arrives and accidentally introduces himself as his husband. But the two play it off and is saved. Later and Lloyd are being chased by the goons from Lloyd's mission, but the two manage to take them out and Lloyd proposes to her with Episode 3. Moves in Lloyd's apartment the next day, and Anya shows her around the house. After having tea, Lloyd decides that it's time to prepare for the interview for Eden Academy. But after a few questions he realizes that his family is hopeless. Frustrated, Lloyd suggests they go for an outing and learn what's normal for a family. Lloyd takes them to the art museum, restaurant, tailor, and even a political rally, but he is unable to get them to act like a normal family. Later that day, spots a thief snatching a purse from an old lady. And with Anya's assistance Lloyd manages to apprehend the thief. They return the purse to the old lady who calls them a normal happy family. At home, Lloyd attempts another mock interview, and happily feels like 1% of his work is done. Later the actual interview starts, but it doesn't go as Lloyd had expected. One of the interviewers, Swan, begins to berate for not being able to cook. Twilight, the man who always puts his mission first, loses his cool and slams the desk in half, leaving the interview. Henry, later, punches Swan for disgracing Eden. At home, Lloyd is devastated, but and Anya help Lloyd believe that they can succeed. Episode 5. Soon the day of the result arrives. The forgers are devastated to learn that Anya's name is not on the list. But Henry tells the forgers that Anya is at the top of the waiting list. After 3 days of stress and prayers, they find out that Anya got into the school. Frankie joins the forgers to celebrate and they all agree to reward Anya for working so hard. But Anya, who loves the show Spy Wars, asks to go to the castle where one of the episodes was shot. Lloyd accepts her daughter's wish, and takes her to the castle. To make her happy, Lloyd asks Wise to send all their agents. Lloyd goes along with all of Anya's wishes for the day, and acts like main character of the show who saves Anya. After the play, Anya thanks Lloyd, Lloyd smiles and congratulates her on passing. Episode 6. Anya's uniform is finished. Lloyd has to go to a Wise meeting, so he has to pick up the uniform. At the meeting, a Wise spy handler tells him that Anya will have to receive 8 Stella stars and become an Imperial Scholar in order for him to complete Operation Strix. Meanwhile, when Yu is picking up Anya's uniform, some hoodlums try to kidnap Anya but Yu beats them up. The day of the Eden entrance ceremony arrives, and the students are being assigned to their classes. Lloyd is thinking to have Anya get close to Damien Desmond, the second son of his target, but Anya doesn't seem to like him. Later Damien insults Anya's new friend Becky. She loses her cool and punches Desmond. For this Henry gives her a tonitrus bolt. 8 of these would get her expelled, and the forgers are devastated to learn that. Episode 7. Next day, Lloyd instructs Anya to apologize to Damien. At school, she's joined by Becky and doesn't get a chance to apologize. Lloyd, disguised as a worker at school, manages to separate Becky from Anya. And Anya finally apologizes to Damien with the cutest crying face. Damien blushes and runs away, making the forgers think that he got even angrier. At home, Lloyd helps Anya study. But Anya is overwhelmed and runs to her room stating she doesn't want to study. Yu convinces Lloyd that he is doing a great job with Anya. Later, Lloyd goes to check up on Anya, but she fell asleep while trying to study on her own. Elsewhere, we see his brother, Yuri Breyer, who is shocked to learn that his sister is married. Episode 8. Lloyd is informed that the secret police is conducting spy hunts, so he needs to be cautious. At the city hall, Yu realizes that she still hasn't told her brother about her marriage for a year. It's revealed that Yuri belongs to the secret police and is interrogating a person. At home, Yu informs Lloyd that Yuri would be visiting, and Lloyd starts preparing the house so that they look like a lovey-dovey couple. Upon arriving, Yuri asks Yu why she hasn't told him about the marriage, and she replies that she forgot. Yuri accepts the reason, but doesn't accept the marriage. During the conversation, Lloyd deduces that Yuri is with the secret police. Frustrated and jealous of Lloyd, Yuri gets drunk and asks the couple to kiss to prove that they are married. Episode 9. Yu takes a huge gulp of wine and leans to kiss Lloyd, but in embarrassment swings her hand, slapping Yuri. Yuri concedes defeat and leaves the couple saying that he'll come again to expose Lloyd. The next day, Anya is sad to learn that she couldn't meet her uncle who is actually in secret police. Yu and Lloyd seem distant from last night's exchange, and Anya tells them to get along. Frustratingly, Lloyd puts a bug on Yu and listens to what she says during the day, in order to clear his suspicions of her working with Yuri. He even puts a disguise with Frankie, and interrogates her. But her resilience clears Lloyd's doubt. Later that day, Lloyd meets up with Yu and removes the bug. The two have a hearty conversation. At home, Anya is happy to see the two get along. Episode 10. A rumor spreads amongst first graders saying that they will be rewarded a Stella for performing well in PE. Anya and Damien are determined to get a Stella, so Anya trains with Yu. Thus begins the dodgeball match. Anya and her classmates are determined to win, but they are faced with the giant, Bill Watkins, who quickly eliminates most of the students. With only Anya and Damien left, he tries to go after Anya, but telepath Anya dodges his every shot. Anya suddenly falls, and Billy throws the ball with full power. Damien, against his will, gets in the way, saving Anya. Seeing that, Anya tries to use the secret move she learned from Yu, and throws the ball with all her might. But the ball hits the floor. And Billy eliminates her. Billy is excited to win a Stella, but Henry says there are no Stella being awarded. Episode 11. Lloyd realizes that it's impossible for Anya to get Stella through studying. So he makes her trying other things like drawing, music, and sports, but all that bears no fruit. so he decides to earn Stella through community service at a hospital. But Anya seems to mess up everything she does, and soon they are kicked out. On their way out, Anya telepathically notices a kid drowning, and jumps into the pool to save him. Noticing Anya, Lloyd saves the two, and Anya wins a Stella for saving a life. Next day, Annie, no Starlight Anya, attends school. Becky gives her the idea to ask for a dog as a present for getting a Stella. The scene shifts to a pet shelter with injured dogs. One of the dogs sees a vision of the Forger family. Episode 12. Lloyd, burdened with one mission after another, comes home exhausted. On his way, he hears his neighbors gossiping that he's neglecting his family. For the sake of Operation Strix, he decides to take his family to the aquarium and show everyone that they get along. However, on his way to the aquarium he is assigned another mission, to stop the retrieval of a penguin with information. At the aquarium, Lloyd has a hard time guessing the right penguin, but with an assist from Anya he recognizes it. Lloyd disguises as a worker, and quickly gets his hand on the penguin. But he's stopped by a man on the way, who tries to shoot him. Lloyd dodges and the man starts running. Anya helps Lloyd by making it take care of the man. Lloyd wins a penguin plushie for Anya, and is willing to face these hardships to keep the children's smiles. At home, Anya tries to enter Lloyd's room while playing, but Lloyd, knowing it's dangerous, yells at her. In order to make her happy, Lloyd and Anya play the game with Anya. Anya takes them outside to play a spy game, with big toys covering their blushing faces. And that concludes part 1 of the first season. A guy who wants to see all the children of the world happy, works as a spy to prevent war. He is given a mission to start a pretend family. But he, unknowingly, gets a telepath and an assassin as his family. Will Twilight be able to complete Operation Strix? Will the three discover each other's true faces? And most importantly, will this pretend family ever become a real family? You'll have your answers as we unfold some more of the story in the next part. For now, peace.